how do you know if you have a rare serial number on your paper money bill? In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to make sure you aren't missing any rare serial number worth potentially thousands of dollars. Welcome back to Old Money Prices. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more about rare coins and paper money, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Let's jump right into the video. So a few things you really want to be looking out for. Obviously, this is very obvious, right? The serial number ones, pretty much anything serial number 1 through 9 or serial number 1 through 10 is going to be worth money. If you have any bill that has a serial number 1 through 10, you're likely going to want to get it graded by either PCGS or PMG. This one also has a star after the serial number. That means it's a replacement note. Replacement notes are worth more money generally. This one also graded at a 64 PPQ, and that's why this note sold for $35,250. Same thing here, but this one also was from 1934. This is a tougher date to find. If you have a $5 bill that's earlier on, it's from the early 1900s, it's going to be worth more money. And this isn't even a serial number 1. It's a serial number 3, and this $5 bill sold for $6,462. This is what some people call a birthday note, because the year there, you see 1997 on the serial number, that's what's considered a birthday note. Sometimes people will say you can have the month, day, and the year. I think something like this is more valuable and more special. Also, you got to combine that with the fact that it graded by PMG a 65 EPQ. That means there's no folds whatsoever on the bill. It's super nice condition, and this is from 1928. This is an older bill. It's also from the Richmond, Virginia district, as you can see there on PMG's label. But this $50 bill that someone probably found in their collection sold for $11,500. Again, pretty straightforward, but what's cool about this note is it's from 2009. That's relatively modern. Look at the design. This is a new design on this $5 bill. The big thing here is 1, it's a serial number 1, and 2, it's 67 EPQ. That's only 3 points away from 70, and this note sold for $9,400. Now, before we move forward, I wanted to say there's a lot of different serial numbers that you could have that's worth money. Generally, it's going to be serial numbers that repeat, for example, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or if you have like an ascending or descending ladder, by that I mean serial number 1 through 8, going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., or the opposite direction. Essentially, any type of serial number that looks cool, that looks collectible, is going to be worth money. But this note right here is a $10 from 1934, graded as a PCGS 65 PPQ, and this note sold for $21,600 because it has that serial number 1. Alright, so here's a $100 bill, but this doesn't have a necessarily really cool serial number. The thing about this serial number is that it's a lower serial number. It is also a star. So if you have a cool serial number and it's a star note, it's going to be worth a lot more money. This note has a serial number 302 star, and it graded as a PMG Very Fine 30, which is a relatively lower grade, but it is from 1928 and the District of Boston. And this note, this $100 bill, sold for $10,800. Now just imagine if this note was in uncirculated condition with no dirt, no folds, no stains. This note's a bit dirty, a bit stainy, but you could possibly have something like this handed down to you in a collection, so keep your eyes peeled. Here's a $10 1928. Now this has a serial number 90. The bigger things on these notes is the fact that they're from the earlier dates, but I would say even if you have a modern note, say you go to the bank and you get back a $10 bill and it has a serial number 90 like this, I guarantee you it's going to be worth more than just $10. It may not be $9,400 like this one, but it's going to be worth more than $10. But yeah, this note here sold for $9,400. And look, I recommend that if you come across a bill like this, you want to find a paper money expert, someone who knows what they're doing. We've been doing this for a very long time. I know a lot when it comes to old paper money, especially. If you want to send me a picture, you can hit the join button below. You can cancel at any time, but you can send me a photo of your banknote and I'll tell you how much it's worth and what you should do with it. But if you don't want to do that, I'd go to a local coin shop. I'd actually go to multiple coin shops because you don't want to get the opinion of just one person. There are some shady people out there. I like to think that everyone's good, but there are some pretty shady characters out there. Most coin shops are pretty good, but you always want to protect yourself. Get the opinion of at least 3 people so you're not getting messed around with. But again, this note sold for $9,400. Pretty straightforward here. This is a solid number 9 serial number. So any type of serial number that's solid is going to be worth more money. This is a 1934C from San Francisco, graded by PMG a 65 EPQ, and this note sold for $10,800. More modern $10 bill, serial number 1, graded a really high grade of 67, which is pretty high. You don't really see much higher than this. They do exist. You do have your 68, 69, 70s, but they're just really rare. This note sold for $17,625. $20 bill, this is from 2004. It's a serial number 1. Not much to say here outside of the fact that it's a serial number 1 and it's a modern bill. It's a gem crisp uncirculated. That means there's no folds at all on the bill, straight from the pack, and you could find these honestly out at a bank. It's not that challenging. These harder serial numbers like a serial number 1, yes, it will be challenging, but that's also why they sell for so much money, because they're so hard to find. But this note sold for $16,100. This is a great example here. So you see the bank strap there, it says BEP, that's the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, and this person just went to the bank and said, hey, can I have a pack of 100 $1 bills? They gave him a $100 bill, and they got back this pack and they noticed that it was a serial number 1 star note right there. So the reason why this bundle here sold for so much money is the fact that not only do you have a serial number 1 star note, but you also have a serial number 2, 3, all the way up to 100. So you have serial number 1 to 100, all uncirculated, never went into circulation. These $1 bills are from 1995. So you can possibly find stuff like this if you go to the local bank and say, hey, do you have any crisp, brand new $1 bills? You can even ask for $2 bills. A lot of people don't know those exist, but they definitely do. I do it all the time. So go to your local bank, ask them if they have any brand new bills, especially if they have any star notes like this, and you could come across a pack of bills that's worth a lot of money, because this pack of $100, it has a face value of $100, sold for $47,437. Hit that subscribe button. It really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next video.